Okay, welcome to the BYP chess games, where I show you another great miniature. First off, I'd like to do a shout out to Middendorf's Seafood Restaurant down on Lake Pontchartrain, down in Nolens. Great food there. That's where I had my first turtle soup, and I also had alligator bites. I actually got to eat some alligator on my vacation a couple weeks ago. It's kind of cool. So here's the deal with this miniature that I'm going to. Oh wait, where did it go? Oh, it's right here. Boy, grabbed my wrong notes. It's a good thing I've got a head on straight. Yeah. Whatever. Okay, let's do this. E4, C6, knight C3, quick development, D5, hitting the center. Absolutely, he's going to go ahead and contest the center. And black releases the tension, and white says, I'm game for that. So here we go. And by the way, before I proceed any further, let me just say, my Saturday morning lives are returning 10 a.m. Mountain Time. The good news, I am going to begin sharing Artur Yusupov's stuff. Yusupov is sensational. Now, he divided his entire course, 10 volumes, 400 pages each, into threes: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. I think what I'm going to do for my live sessions is I will share with you an idea from the beginner book. Then I will share with you an idea from the intermediate book for those who are more advanced than just beginners. And then I will share with you some ideas from the advanced book so that those of you who are advanced will get something. And each level of chess, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, will be able to get something good out of my Saturday morning lives. Just stay tuned. You aren't going to want to miss this. Artur Yusupov has some sensational material. I will bring in supplemental materials or supplemental games illustrating some of the points that Yusupov shows. So anyway, now back to the reality with which we are progressing through. Knight takes the E4, dominating the center, and black says, not so fast. I too can play this game of develop my pieces. Interestingly, white goes ahead and takes the knight, gets rid of the developed piece right off the bat, and he opens up the center, doubling up the pawns on the F file. Most interesting. So the center is more or less open except for the lone white pawn, and that's not going to bug us too much. And now, bishop c4. Again, put the pieces in the action. Put them on active squares. This is a good active square for the bishop here. Now, look, you say, well, okay, isn't that a little passive? Could be. Comes here and goes check. The knight's not going to block him, but the pawn will. But then he could probably bump back, make him move another pawn and bump back. And or he could just simply come back to here and make him move his pawn structure, right? So that doesn't accomplish a whole lot, is what I'm trying to tell you. So yeah, you could play more aggressively. With this particular opening, though, what you want to do is you want to get prepared to castle. Why? And it's not that it's going to happen. Right now, technically, it's not even a threat, but what you do want to watch is this f7 pawn, the weakest square, and the bishop is eyeing it. Just so you're aware, sacrificing bishops on f7 is a major theme in so many pawn openings or chess openings, right? So just be aware. So he's playing safe at this point, and now white kind of opens up and reveals his real idea. He is an attacker, and he is going to play aggressive. And it is through this dynamic play that you really sometimes rock your opponent back on his heels way faster than he wants to be. And we're talking Queen H5. And seriously, I know, I get it. You know, every chess rule is made to be broken. This is not ideal chess development. Sure, your queen's the toughest piece, but don't put her out there so cotton picking early that she's going to get chased around. I mean, she's a target, right? So, I mean, can't you develop your minor pieces first? Isn't that the essence? And I promise Yusupov is going to show us why it is really, without exaggeration, imperative to develop the minor pieces first before putting the little lady out there. But white is playing seriously aggressive. So let's keep that in mind. How do you respond to an aggressive opponent like this? What's your best bet? Castles. I mean, that's what black did, right? So castle, sure. And now, again, another piece. So he didn't necessarily chase that aggressive queen off before castling. And I know the queen went to that side of the board. Okay, I get that, right. But he's castling into that side of the board. You still don't want to leave your king in the center if you can help it. And he was prepared to castle, and so he castles. All good on the Western Front at this point. Knight e2, bring another piece out, and now he is going to, the queen is making him nervous, and so he's going to create some weaknesses around the king. This is entirely unprovoked. That was not necessary. So this is part of the mini lesson. I know, and we get, you know, our nervousness extracts out of our breast when we see the power lady so close to the king. I get all that. But unprovoked weakening of the king side, don't do it. No matter what, don't do it. Not a good move. Because, see, the queen can retreat. She can get another angle, another active square and all, but that pawn can never go backwards. And so those dark square weaknesses around the king is permanent, and he's got a dark squared bishop so that he can take complete advantage of that. So he's going to bring the piece up. Again, you'll notice he is not really, I mean, he doesn't have a weak center, but he is playing, he's got a small influence in the center. I'll put it that way. It's not a weak center, but it's a small influence. And I'm not sure how that helps because of the next move. And immediately, absolutely. See, the unprovoked creation of dark squares around the bishop truly tells you, if you were playing white in this position, take complete advantage of that, because that bishop isn't going to be chased away. And now you're cramping. Now you're cramping black. And it's crazy because you're on the wing. You go, what do you mean cramping black? Man, he can start bringing up all kinds of stuff. You're still cramping black. I mean, look at it this way. If you were nervous with the queen on h5, you've got to be dreading the bishop on h6 because you don't have a pawn to push that bishop away now, right? And what next move is going to chase the bishop away? Your rook is threatened. So now you have to start playing passive reaction chess. And that's what he does. Well, there's no point in losing the rook. I mean, come on. You don't want to lose the rook. And now Strike while the iron's hot. Kablam, check. Look, bishop sacrifice on f7, man. That is always such a, even if you see it, it's a surprise lightning bolt, isn't it? Now you're breaking out and sweating bullets. Truly, what you can do is you can take the bishop with the king, and this is the move that I wanted to show you this game. Remember, the power of the queen is in the vertical movement, is in the diagonal movement, and is in the horizontal movement. She's the only piece that can do all of those combined, and it works beautifully here. Keep that in mind when you come to b3, and astonishingly, that's checkmate. So you kind of go, holy cow, how did that work? That is a beautiful cross pattern. That bishop, this is the point. If it'd be great if you can force your opponent to make a weakening move, that's good. If your opponent just does it because he's nervous about one of your pieces there, that's good too. Take advantage anytime you can of the weak square complex around a king if those pawns begin to advance, because that's how it creates weaknesses. And then you immediately pounce on those weak squares, and it cramps. Did I not say that? It cramps the opponent, and now you can bring in the other pieces. That's a good little illustration. I can't help it. I love games like this because there's just, the ending sometimes just goes, oh, kapow, and you don't see it coming. Well, if you don't learn how to see it coming in the chess miniatures, you're going to have some of these miniature moves put onto you. So just be aware that the queen can see when she was here. You're going, okay, is there a way that I can sneak in? Should I castle? Yeah, you could have. You could have castled. Or you could bring your rook in and start pushing your pawn or whatever. But remember this movement also. Very nice. Checkmate. I can't help it. I love that kind of stuff. So there is another chess video for you. Again, remember, my Saturday morning lives are going to start getting really, and they might extend in length, but we're going to have some fun. We're going to get some good stuff from Artur Yusupov. I'm looking very forward to my Saturday morning lives with you guys. So in the meantime, remember, get a lot of sleep, keep studying chess, keep cranking it out, and I will see you very soon.